Greetings, it's Andy here again with another video, and this is number 2 in the occasional series I've started called 3 live albums. I really like a live album, and I have quite a few, so I thought I'd sort of share them over now and then. But one of my recent arrivals at the end of last week was a live album, which I thought was quite interesting, so I thought I'd share it and then add another couple. So these 3 are like chalk and cheese musically, but they do have one thing in common, and that is they are all bootlegs, though the first one is an unofficial and the other 2 are official bootlegs. And they're all actually relatively new releases, even though the concerts have taken place over a long period of time. Anyway, let's kick off. Number 1, this is my recent arrival, and it's an unofficial bootleg, and it's a very early Radiohead, and it's called Stop Staring at Me. And this is a where are we? July 1994 concert. So if we think about it, Pablo Honey, I'm not sure, did that come out in 92 or 93? Can't remember. But the Bends didn't come out until March 95. So, and this has got a few tracks from the Bends. So, you know, people who attended this concert back in July 94 would have been, you know, their first hearing probably of some of those Bends tracks. So it's really, really young, early Radiohead. And they've got some tracks on there, you know, the classic Creep, and some others from Pablo Honey. You know, not my favourite of their albums, but there's 2 or 3 great tracks on there, and I love the Bends, and it's an interesting one. Let's put it that way. And there it is. It's just a single. When I'm not around, you're so fucking special. I wish I was special. But I'm afraid, I'm aware. Now my second one is one which came out, which was released anyway in 2021, and it's Can, live in Stuttgart 1975. Some beautiful artwork on this, which I'll come to in a minute. So apparently, Can back in the sort of 70s had a sort of fan who used to go around there a lot of their concerts, and he was a Brit called Andrew Hall, I think, and he used to sort of go into the concerts with a reel-to-reel tape recorder underneath his coat. So it wasn't exactly the best recording conditions, and Can release this officially. I mean, they got the actual original recording and really cleaned it up and remastered it, and did all of the stuff. And it's actually a very good recording. There was another one issued from 75 called Live in Brighton. So I think recorded by the same guy. And this is it's another interesting one. It's quite different. So Can, you know, they easily get tagged as krautrock, but I mean, you know, it's incidental that they're German. This is psych rock, and it's instrumental psych rock. So here they have the original 4 members: Ermin Schmidt keyboards, Jackie Liebzeit drums, Michael Caroli guitars, and Holger Zuke on bass. You can sort of see the pictures of the artists at the time, with Ermin, there on the back. So he's the only one sort of like still, well, I don't know if he's the only one still alive, but he's the only one still involved, shall we say, and he was the driver behind doing this. And it's resplendent in orange, so lovely graphics, and that sort of black, grey and orange works so well. So this is basically a triple album, so, you know, an hour and a half of jamming, instrumental noodling of a very high psych rock quality. So I like this. But you know, I don't really want two, so I didn't go out and buy the Brighton one. And there are, in theory, 5 tracks called Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, which of course is 1 to 5 in German, and 3 is an absolute epic. So Drei is spread over 3 sides of the LP, so it is massive and it's great. It's really interesting. It's one of those ones to get into and wallow and just let it drift over you. It doesn't drift at all until you get to the final track. No, and 4 and 5 are actually on the last side, so they're not that long. But it's got some amazing. The rhythm section is immense in it, so it's held together by the drums and the bass. So that's Can, and my last one is the most recent, but you know, possibly about a similar age to Can, shall we say? And this has only been released on CD. It was released in 2021, and it is a 2021 concert, and it is King Crimson, and it's called "Music Is Our Friend," which only appears on the Spine. And basically, it's from their 21 tour of the US. It was recorded in Washington and Albany. It's on 2 CDs, and it is absolutely immense. So I would say that if you're even remotely into King Crimson, this is one to get. It is absolutely brilliant. And you've got to remember that, you know, Fripp is 77 now, something like that. So is he gonna pull the band together for another big tour? Probably not, I wouldn't have thought. So it's an absolute great one. It's got it's a real best of. Larkstock in Aspic Part 1, Court of the Crimson King, Red, Neurotica, Indiscipline, Epitaph, Starless. And Starless is beautiful. 21st Century Schizoid Man, Discipline, Lots Tons in Aspic Part 2, Islands, and a few others in there as well. Absolutely brilliant. So, as I say, this is the most recent. This came out in 21, and it's a 21 concert, and they really know their stuff. It's got, you know, in terms of the band, you've got obviously Fripp, somebody I don't know, Jack Zik, Tony Levin, who's obviously been around a long time on bass, Mel Collins, Saxon Fruit, and then 3 drummers, yes, 3, which includes the magnificent Gavin Harrison of Porcupine Tree and the Pineapple Thief. So absolutely brilliant. So those are my 3 live albums for episode 2 of this. So hope that was all right. Cheers.